Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, today is going to be a story time. It's my very first story time. I'm going to be talking about when my car got robbed. By far probably the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. So, right before this happened, I lived in Eastern Washington and I had moved to Western Washington. And so, I lived there for a while. I didn't really like being away from my family, so I decided to move back to Eastern Washington. So when I came back, I had already set up a job interview, and so I just went straight to my job interview. So I had all my suitcases, all my clothes, all my stuff in the trunk of my car. And at the interview, they pretty much hired me on the spot. So they wanted me to stay to actually kind of learn the ropes and stuff like that. But the parking lot that they have is so small and they have so many businesses within that one complex that they were like, okay, we can't have the people that got hired on parking right here right now. So you either park across the street at the bank or park like right behind our parking lot in that apartment complex. So I went and moved my car at the apartment complex because it was closer than the bank. And so I parked my car, lock it up, go inside. Keep in mind, at this time I had like a 97 Honda Accord, which is one of the most broken into and stolen cars in Washington. A Honda is, and so that'll come into play later on in the story. So I'm working at this job. They're having me stay later than I had anticipated. There's a couple extra hours, but it's paid training, so I'm like, sure, like for sure I'll be here a couple extra hours. I need the money, I just moved back. So I get done working and I go to my car and I look, before I even open the door, I look in the window and I see some of the stuff that was in the passengers, it was on the passenger side floor, is now on the seat. So I'm a little bit concerned at this point. And I get in the car and I'm like, shoot, they stole my stereo. At this point, I'm thinking that's all they stole, was just my stereo system. So I'm bummed, but you know, it is what it is. It's just a little stereo system, nothing major. I bought the car and it was in the car when I bought it, but it wasn't like I went to AutoZone or some place, you know, to get a special system. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I stick the key in the ignition and I turn. It's not clicking. It's not making any type of noise. Because at first I was like, okay, maybe the battery is out or something. But I'm like, usually it'll be like, it'll make some type of sound like it's trying to turn over. But it's making zero sound. No lights are coming on, nothing. So I'm like concerned at this point. I go and I pop the hood and I get out of the car and I go, look, my battery is completely gone. So I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, these people stole my battery? And the wires that hook up to where the battery, like from the vehicle to the battery, are snipped down to the nubs. So I'm like, so not only did you steal my battery, but you cut the cables? Like, so then when I got another battery that day, I had to buy like these weird special cables just to hook up to the car, to hook up to the battery so I could even go anywhere. So at this point, like, I'm like hyperventilating. I'm extremely upset. At this point, I'm on the phone with my mom. I'm like, Mom, somebody broke into my car. They stole my stereo. They stole my battery. They cut the wires down. And while I'm on my phone, I go and I pop the trunk because I'm like, all of my stuff is in the trunk. I pop the trunk. The trunk is completely empty. So now I'm like extremely hyperventilating, like crying, screaming, like to my mom to come. And so my mom comes and, you know, she's just kind of trying to talk to me, talk to the neighbors, see if they've seen anything. We're calling Crime Check to file a report. And the job that I had just got, the boss comes out and he was like, I got a buddy who, you know, sells car parts or something. I can get a cheap battery and cables and stuff, you know, and I'll just take it out of your first check. So I'm like, all right, bet, cool. That's nice of you. Like, I just need to get this car up and running so I can get it out of here. So in the days following that, like, I just felt so defeated because I had like 2 outfits to my name and a pair of flip-flops. That was all I had left to wear. And like, I know that there's people that have less than that, but and that's completely sad. I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so my throat's a little bit dry. It was just hard for me because I didn't come from a well-off family. You know, all the things that I had, I paid for myself. I worked hard and I spent my own money. And so to do all that and have somebody take it all away, I was extremely hurt and I felt really violated. So I cried and like I was in the shower, man, one day, and I was just crying and crying and crying. And I was like, you know what? They can have my old stuff. It's old. A lot of that stuff I had since like the 8th grade. Shoes and stuff, and it was a lot of it, some of it was new, but a lot of it was old. And I was like, you know what? They can have my old stuff. They can have my hand-me-downs, my little tattered clothes that I had. They can have it. It is what it is. I'll buy new stuff. I'll buy better stuff. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. It is what it is. It's replaceable. I'm good. I'm still here to tell the story. I'm going to get better stuff. Backtrack a little bit. Before I had come to this epiphany, I was so sad. My mom took me to Goodwill, and I've always been against Goodwill. I feel like somebody else coochie been in this. Somebody else armpits been in. I understand you wash it, but they don't wash it. And people have bed bugs and people have lice. And I was like, you know what? I don't know if I have sufficient grease in my hair today. I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure about it. Like, it's never really been my thing. But I was like, you know what? I'll go with you to the store and we'll look around. And so my mom bought me I'd probably say like 5 outfits from Goodwill. And I tried them on while I was at the store and I genuinely liked them. And it was just kind of the first step to feeling better, to knowing like the stuff is replaceable and it's gonna get better. So that was a really good thing for me. Excuse me. So after I'd come to the epiphany of things are going to get better, I'm going to get new stuff, I was on Facebook, because Facebook has all these little groups where you can sell stuff, to see if whoever took my stuff would be dumb enough to post it. So, hold on, excuse me. Okay, back. So, I'm on Facebook to see if anybody's going to be stupid enough to post the stuff that they stole. And I was doing this like faithfully every single day, all throughout the day. And one night I was laying in bed and I was on Facebook and it was like midnight. And I'm on one of these sites and I see my shoes. And I know they're my shoes because they're shoes that you have to special order. You can't get them online. I know they're mine. So my mom, I was like, Mom, those are my shoes. This has got to be the people that stole my stuff. So we come up with this plan for my mom to message her and act like she wants to buy the shoes. So we get it all set up. We're going to meet you at this place at this time to look at the shoes and buy the shoes. In the meantime, we had told a couple of my mom's coworkers about the whole situation. So they're like, oh yeah, we want to go. We want to help you get your stuff back. So I'm like, all right, bet. So it's me, my mom, and her coworker and her coworker's boyfriend. I'm going to call them Bob and Carol because it sounds good. So me, my mom, Bob, and Carol get in Bob's truck and we go to meet up with the girl. Now I'm sitting in the back, kind of leaned back into the truck so that I'm not readily seen at first. My mom hops out of the car and she goes up to the guy, because it was two people. It was a guy and his fiance who broke into my car and stole my stuff. And I knew that from Facebook stalking. So she goes up to the guy and she's like, hey, I'm here to buy the shoes. So he's like, oh, okay. And he gets the shoe out of the back of his truck. And my mom brings it around to me. And she's like, is this your shoe? And I looked in it because it had a specific like scuff mark on the inside that I made that I knew that it was mine. So I got out and I get out of the car and I go around and my mom, this is a funny thing because me and my mom are both 5'2". And she's, you know, a lot thinner than me. But she's a little firecracker, man, I'm telling you. So, my mom's like, this is my daughter's stuff, and we know you stole it. Why'd you steal all her stuff? She's going off. So he's like, no, we didn't steal anything. Because at this point, his fiance had come out of the place that they were in. And she's like, no, I didn't steal anything. He's like, no, we didn't steal anything. We didn't steal anything. And I was like, dude, we know you did. Like, we got an eyewitness. We know that you stole the stuff. So we're just like, okay, these are the shoes. Where's all the rest of the stuff? Do you have it? And he was like, no, I don't have any of the other stuff. So at this point, he's pretty much already admitted to it. So now, me and my mom are, you know, chopping it up, talking to this dude like, we know you stole stuff. Here comes Bob out of the truck. My mom's coworker's man comes out of the truck and he's starting to walk up on the guy. And I don't know what for, but like, I mean, he was walking up, but he wasn't walking up hella aggressive. But the guy we were talking to, like, I guess started to feel threatened. So, like, at this point, me and my mom have kind of shifted to the side. And Bob's walking up to the guy like, yeah, we know you stole the stuff. And the guy pulls out brass knuckles. Now, I didn't think people were still using brass knuckles, but apparently that's still a thing. And I think this was like 2016 or something like that. So he pulls out his brass knuckles. What he doesn't know, and what me and my mom didn't know, is that Bob has a concealed weapons license. So at this point, the dude pulled out the brass knuckles, and Bob pulls out his gun. And I swear to you, look, I grew up in a very safe, well, I wouldn't say safe, but fairly safe, very Caucasian area. And I had never, and I mean, Bob's Caucasian too, but I had never seen a gun in real life before this point. Never. I was very sheltered. Never seen a gun until this point. Bob pulls out his gun and starts to point it at the dude. Everything was like in slow motion to me. It was the craziest thing. Like, I went from being hostile, trying to get my stuff back, to I was like, whoa, like, let's calm down here. We can talk this out. Let's, you know, let's bring it back. Let's calm down. Because I'm like, anything is liable to pop off right now. So, where Bob was standing, the guy couldn't get to his front door of his car. So he hops in the passenger side to get to the driver's seat. And then his fiance gets in too. So now Bob has his gun pointed at this guy's back of his head through his car windshield from the back of the truck, where the bed of the truck is. And he's like, turn off the car, turn off the car. And I'm like, whoa, tripping out. I'm like, whoa. So he's just, turn the car off, turn the car off. At this point, the lady that was in the shop where they had come out of, she's like, what's going on? What's going on? My mom's like, oh, they stole my daughter's stuff and we're trying to get it back. And I'm still just in slow motion, like, can we talk it out? Like, I'm tripping, yo. So he's still, turn off the car, turn off the car. We didn't peep that there's a alleyway on the side of the building, excuse me, where we're at. So the guy's slowly kind of rocking the truck back, you know, trying to get the guy to scoot back. And he gets him back far enough, and then he kind of shoots back to like skirt off in the corner. Knocks Bob on the ground. Bob's all scuffed up. Whatever. We call the police. They're there within like 5 minutes. We tell them the whole story. And then the police leave. And so we go home and we're like, shoot, like we didn't get to, you know, get them arrested or anything. So we're feeling a little bit defeated. The whole time, me and my mom didn't know that Bob and Carol had ran into these people again, like just around town, and had followed them home one time. And so periodically, like throughout the week, they're like stopping by these people's house to see if they're home. And we're just like, that's a whole new level of stalking that I'm not accustomed to. I'm not about to be rolling up on these people's houses every day of the week. So I guess one day, Bob and Carol saw him out again, followed them home, called Crime Check, and they're like, hey, we know somebody with a known warrant at this address. They're home right now. We're looking at right at them. We need you to come get them. Police pull up, lock him up, put him in the back seat. And I guess because his fiance was like 8 months pregnant at the time, so I guess he just said he just took full responsibility of the whole thing because he didn't want her to have to like go to jail with the baby and deliver the baby in jail and all that kind of stuff. So he was like, I'll just accept full responsibility. So he ended up getting like 87 months and then another felony tacked onto his record. But the reason why he got so much time was because I guess he was like one of our city's most wanted people. And I didn't even know that. And I felt like I should have got a reward or something. Or they should have got a reward, you know, for help tracking this guy down. So he had 27 other pending charges going into that hearing. So, yeah, they gave him like 87 months. And he has to pay restitution to me for all the stuff that he stole once he gets out. So everything's kind of died down. This is where the plot twist comes in. Everything's kind of died down or whatever. And my aunt was over at my mom's house. And she's over at my mom's house with her new boyfriend, which nobody likes. And we're talking about the whole situation. I'm telling her this whole story, how it went down and everything. And her boyfriend's like, do you know who did it or whatever? Or no, my aunt said that. She's like, do you know who did it? And I was like, yeah, I know his name and I know her name. And I said his name. And her boyfriend goes, that's my best friend. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is the man who stole everything I own is your best friend, and you're admitting to it when you're dating my aunt. Even if that's the case, if that's your best friend, why would you say that? To be like, oh yeah, that's my homie. Like, seriously? So I just was like, that's how you know our city is small. I mean, it's small, but it's not small. Like, it's actually like one of the biggest cities in Washington. But it just seems like everybody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows you. Somehow we're all kind of interconnected. It's weird. But I was just like, man, come on, this is your best friend. But anyway, that is the story of how my car got robbed. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please excuse me. Like I said, I'm still getting over a cold, so I'm still a little stuffy and all that kind of stuff. But please subscribe. Please join my journey. I'm just starting out, so I need all the support I can get. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. And share this with your friends. Share this with your family. Subscribe. Please, 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 please. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to be on top and really make a go of this. So, again, I appreciate you so much. Let me know in the comments other videos you'd like to see, if you'd like another story time. And I just appreciate you guys. So, thank you. Bye.
I like being independent. Not so much of an investment. No one to tell me what to do.